What do you think is the biggest animal in the world? You probably guessed it from the title. It's the blue whale. Imagine 25 elephants lined up in a row. It's an awe-inspiring sight, isn't it? Now imagine an animal that weighs about equal to those 25 elephants. Not only that, the tongue of the animal weighs equal to an elephant. Its heart is even as large as the size of a small car. And believe it or not, a human could even crawl in its arteries. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to embark on a journey to unravel the secrets of the ocean's monarch, the gentle giant, and the world's greatest vocalist, the blue whale. An average whale weighs about 150,000 kilograms. How many humans do you think does that equal to? Since an average human weighs about 60 kilograms, that's about 2,500 people's weight. And that's equivalent to just one of the mighty blue whale's weight. However, being as big as it is, its throat is extremely and contrastingly small compared to its body. Being only about 4 to 8 inches in diameter, it's barely enough to fit a basketball. Despite its small throat, the whale must consume about 4 tons of food every day, only eating krills and filtering away anything else caught in its mouth. And they eat this much for their entire lives, which can be anything from 80 years to a whole century. A common misconception about whales is that they are classified as fish. In reality, whales are not fish. They belong to the mammal group and are more specifically known as cetaceans, like the dolphins and porpoises. This is due to multiple reasons, such as the fact that, unlike fishes, whales cannot breathe underwater. Instead, they have to come to the surface and let out air, using their blowholes located at the top of their head. Another significant difference lies in their reproductive system, as the whale gives birth to its offspring, also known as calves, while a fish almost always lays eggs, with a few rare exceptions, such as the live bearers and guppies. Moreover, whales also produce milk to feed their young. An average calf can consume up to 250 liters of its mother's milk each day, gaining around 90 kilograms every 24 hours during its first few months. After a period of 6 to 7 months, however, the calves are usually weaned. Being mammals, they also have a history of evolution. Did you know their ancestors were once land-dwelling creatures? The Pakicetus is what the whale's ancestors looked like. A fun fact is that the hippopotamus and the whale shared a common ancestor about 57 million years ago. It is believed that the Pakicetus decided to look for food underwater and then gradually started adapting to the water, ultimately evolving into whales. Around 30 to 40 million years ago, the evolution of whales split into 2 paths. 1. Baleen whales, also known as whalebone whales. 2. Toothed whales. The baleen whales tend to be much larger than toothed whales, with the exception of the sperm whale, which is a toothed whale but quite larger. Baleen whales tend to mostly only eat small things, such as krills, small fish, or tiny animals. The toothed whales, however, are predatory animals. These whales don't settle for the smallest of fishes. They'd rather hunt the biggest one. But the topic of our video today is our hero, the majestic blue whale, is a baleen whale. Instead of teeth, it has baleens, which are just essentially a series of fringed plates hanging in a whale's mouth that are about 3 feet long. The whale uses these baleens to filter out their food from seawater and then swallow their catch. The blue whale is affectionately known as the gentle giant due to its calm demeanor. In fact, not just blue whales, but many other whale species also exhibit behavior worthy of this title. Take, for example, the humpback whales, who apparently saved the lives of innocent seals that are about to become the next meal for a pod of orcas. When the orcas were about to flip over the last foundation of a seal's safety, the seal is given refuge on top of the whale's back, who carefully escorts it to the next safest ice floe. The whales also show such similar altruistic acts with humans, such as this one whale that saved a diver's life from a nearby lurking shark. Fortunately enough, however, the whale can afford such a maneuver since it has almost no natural predators. Orcas do hunt down whales, but only the calves. Except for orcas, almost no other animals dare to hunt the mighty whale. Whales are genuinely curious animals, and they tend to get close to boats and humans. However, even though they are wild animals, They can become agitated and may attack boats or humans, especially when accompanied by their calves. The blue whales have the loudest sound in the world. They can produce two types of sounds: calls, which is just a small sound used for various communicating reasons, and songs, where the whales produce a sequence of patterned voices that echoes through the water. Blue whales are social animals and like to communicate with each other by making loud noises, known as whale song, which is why they've earned the title Bringers of Joy. It's these calls and songs that make it much easier to spot whales, since spotting a whale is visually more expensive and harder for scientists. So locating a whale based on their voices makes it a much easier process. These majestic animals are facing dwindling numbers. They are standing very near the edge of extinction. As the 20th century started, their population sank, with about 350,000 whales killed. However, in 1967, they were granted worldwide protection. Still, the numbers of whales existing is pretty low, with only about 10 to 25,000 existing as of right now. Whales face an unpredictable future. Let's hope our gentle friends don't leave us alone. Speaking of alone, once in 1989, a team of scientists recorded a sound of whale that was peculiarly unusual, unlike any that had ever been heard or recorded. The sound was recorded at a frequency of 52 hertz, even though normal whales communicate at about 10 to 39 hertz, with dominant frequencies of 16 to 28 hertz. So it was believed that not even other whales could hear it. Its sound has been heard consistently throughout the years, suggesting that it truly is out there somewhere. However, with no one to respond to its call. For this, the whale was named the loneliest whale on Earth. Despite having been tracked since 1998, the whale has not been found, so it is speculated by some to just be a hybrid. However, there are claims that it might not be alone. In 2010, two widely distant sensors detected sounds from a similar whale, though this evidence is not considered sufficient to confirm the existence of more such whales. Like the loneliest whale, another animal worthy of note is the bloop, whose sound was heard in the southern Pacific. Whatever made the sound is said to be at least 3 times bigger than our blue whale. It is widely believed, however, that the sound of the bloop was actually just an iceberg cracking. Whether that animal truly exists or not remains a mystery for now, but that story is for another Nature's Flexes. Be sure to join our adventure by hitting that like button, and of course, subscribe now to not miss out on a single moment of the mesmerizing tales Nature's Flex has to offer.